Sounds like a plan.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hold the Phone podcast. I know it's been a little bit. We were a little busy, but we're back. I'm joined today by my co-host, Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm alive and well, ready to spit some more mildly warm takes with you guys and reusing jokes.
I like it. So what we got going on? We know it's been a little
bit. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We are off kilter a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get back into it.
Yeah. Well, I guess, it has been a little while. I guess we have some news to cover. Nothing super huge has happened except the news last night that Russell Wilson has decided to re-sign with the Seattle Seahawks for 4 years. A pretty big contract. I think Patrick Mahomes might need to renegotiate his extension after seeing that. But I was actually really surprised because I thought that he might want to, test the market a little bit. But in the end, I think that this Seattle keeping their franchise guy, it's a scary world out there, especially in this draft with QBs. I think the QBs are a little shaky in this 2019 draft, but I thought it was a great move by both. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I like it for the Seahawks. For Russell, I'm a little surprised, but I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to turn that not much money. And I don't know. If I'm actually, now that I think about it, I don't really like it if I'm the Seahawks. I get why you had to do it because you need to keep your superstar player. But at the same time, that team, they don't really have a lot around him. I think if they could have, like the proposed trade that we put up on our Twitter with the Giants, I think would have been genius move for them because you can jumpstart your rebuild. But I don't know. They think they can win, so best of luck to them. I hope they can.
I agree. I was definitely pro Seattle rebuild. And for those of you who don't follow us on Twitter or Instagram, the trade that Alex is referring to is we had proposed a trade because we're about to do a huge mock draft here in a few minutes, but we had proposed a trade between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants that would send, obviously, quarterback Russell Wilson, defensive end Frank Clark, and the 2026 round pick to the Giants. For the Giants, 2 first-round picks in 2019 and a second-round and fourth-round pick in 2020. We thought it was pretty even, but obviously we can't do that anymore because Russell Wilson re-signed. I still think Frank Clark will get traded in the next few weeks, but we'll just have to sit on our hands and wait for that news to come. But I was kind of bummed that we couldn't do this. I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But anyways, we can move on to the biggest headline of the day, which was Demaryius Thomas deciding to sign with the New England Patriots. This is kind of a head slapper for me because I had finally thought that the Bills would have a better receiving core than the Patriots, but I was wrong. I think if Demaryius Thomas can stay healthy, this is a great signing. They did sign him for a big chunk of money. He signed for a 1 year, $6 million, but I like the signing on both ends. They needed a wide receiver, and they got one.
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, they lost Josh Gordon, it looks like, so yeah, he adds a new outside weapon for Brady if he can stay healthy, like I said. If not, I mean, he could be like a little Larry Fitzgerald type, just making some third downs. I don't know. I like it.
I think the deadliness of that wide receiver group all depends on whether or not Josh Gordon is going to play in 2019. But even regardless, I still think they're going to draft somebody, specifically maybe Andy Isabella out of UMass, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I guess while we're still talking about the NFL, we could talk about these uni alerts that we've been getting in the past 2 weeks. First off, we had the New York Jets release their new uniforms. I wasn't the biggest fan. I like the black. The black uniforms are solid. I think those are the alternate ones. I don't really like the shiny green helmets. I like their darker green a lot better, but that's just my 2 cents. How do you feel about the uniforms?
I completely agree. And it turns out they're not even going to wear them all the time. They're just supposed to wear them for like 6 or 7 games. I think the white ones kind of look weird. They kind of look like a high school uniform. I don't know. I like the old Jets uniforms. I don't get why they changed them. But I don't know. I guess they're trying to stay hip and cool. Not really a big fan of it.
I feel they stole Michigan State's thunder a little bit, but that's just my opinion.
Oh,
but we can move on to other jersey updates. Today we found out that the Chargers are making the powder blue uniforms their primary home uniforms this year, and I love that move because I love it. I love the powder blue so much because so many teams in this league wear navy, like the Patriots, the Texans, the Chargers, even the Seahawks a little bit, some form of that dark blue. I like the fact that they're making themselves unique with that lighter blue. I think it's going to look really cool.
Yeah, and it's sort of like a rebranding because everybody knows that the Rams have always been Los Angeles' team. But now if they switch the colors up, I don't know, maybe we'll see more powder blue Chargers uniforms walking around L.A. I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean, if I was a Chargers fan, I'd rep it. But I guess before we get into this mock draft, we could talk a little bit about some college basketball. It's been a while since we talked to you guys, but since then, obviously March Madness is wrapped up, and in a very nice way, if I might add. My UVA Cavaliers won their first ever school championship, or national championship, and I'm just pumped, man. But these last 2 days have kind of taken a lot out of me because our three best players have all declared from the NBA draft.
Yeah, dude.
So best of luck to them.
We haven't had a chance to talk about that, but that's crazy. Literally all of them declared. I was like, dang, that's going to hurt them a lot come next season. But hopefully y'all can get some good rookies in there, or freshmen in there.
Yeah, I was kind of okay with Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter leaving, but when Kyle Guy really hurt. Kyle Guy was my, well, not to be cheesy, but he was my guy. He was my favorite player, and I was really pumped for his senior year, like just that final season. I thought if all three of them stayed on, we definitely had a chance of repeating. But now I see that chance going very far down. I don't think we're even going to come close. Obviously, I think we're going to make the tournament, but there's no way we're going to be at that level that we were this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be another North Carolina Duke. See who can win the ACC. But, I mean, Virginia will still contend. Their coach is a genius, basically. So.
Luckily, we still have Mamadi Diakite, the star defensive power forward, and very promising young freshman point guard in Kihei Clark. But it'll be a rebuild on the other side, though. We have to fill our wing spots.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you ready to jump into the draft?
I am. So this week we decided that we're going to do our official NFL mock draft just of the first round. I have the odd picks. Ryan has the even. And no set time limits. We're just going to, we're not going to take forever to make our picks. And like we talked about earlier, we had a Giants trade in the works, but it didn't come to fruition. So it looks like we don't really have any trades. So I guess we can just bang this out real quick, man.
Let's do it.
All right. With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select Kyler Murray, quarterback from Oklahoma.
I'm stunned. You want to give a little bit of reasoning after every pick?
Yeah, we can. Just a quick little brief. I mean, it looks like it's going to be him. All signs point to it's going to be him. Kingsbury wants to bring in his own quarterback. With how bad their offensive line is, he's mobile, way more mobile than Rosen, and it looks like they're going to end up trading Rosen or maybe even keeping him a little bit into the preseason. Maybe somebody gets hurt and somebody offers a boatload for him, but I guess we'll see.
Yep, well, I'll just have to watch it play out, but I have a feeling that's the direction you're going to go, so I am unfortunately taking the obvious second overall pick. In my opinion, it would be the first overall pick if quarterbacks weren't so important. But despite his shaky background, I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers are taking defensive end Nick Bosa out of Ohio State. I think that makes that defense so much more deadly. You've got Quan Alexander, Dee Ford, DeForest Buckner, and Solomon Thomas all on the defensive line, but also you have Richard Sherman in the backfield. So it'll be really interesting to see how Bosa fits in there, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, there's no one else that you'd take there, so I completely agree. The New York Giants are going to select Josh Allen, edge rusher out of Kentucky. I don't really know which scheme he's going to play with the Jets, but I could see him being an outside pass rusher for them easily.
For sure. With the Oakland Raiders pick at number 4, I am going to take Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle out of Alabama. I think he'd be a great scheme fit right next to Maurice Hurst. I think they need somebody up there. And to have 2 really talented young defensive tackles really kind of speaks a lot, because that would really stop the run. And Lord knows they need it with all the running backs they're going to have in their division, like Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. But yeah, that's my pick at 4.
I love it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 5 are going to select linebacker Devin White from LSU. I just think they've lost so many linebackers this offseason, and they're going to try and get faster and younger, bring in Devin White. He's pretty explosive, and hopefully help Bruce Arians build a good defense down there in Tampa.
I like it. I think that we have been kind of on script for this so far, so I'm going to try to throw a little bit of a screwball in there, maybe. With the number 6 pick for the New York Giants, I am taking the heir to Eli Apple's. Oh my gosh, I'm killing this.
You're good.
Eli Manning's throne, and Drew Lock.
Ooh.
I'm taking Drew Lock, the quarterback out of Missouri. Now I'm skipping on Haskins. I didn't like his pro day. Well, his pro day actually wasn't bad, but I just don't like his foot. No, I'm killing it, man. I'm killing it. I like his footwork. I like his mechanics. I don't like his oh my dude, what is up with me? His athleticism or lack thereof. I think Drew Lock has a better chance of fitting that Pat Shurmur offensive scheme, but that's what I'm going with. I'm skipping on Haskins.
Okay.
That took like 10 years to get out. But.
No, you're good. That did change some things for how we're going to draft. But up next, with the 7th overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to select Jawan Taylor, offensive tackle from Florida. They just paid Nick Foles a boatload of money, so they're going to need some people to block for him. They already have a pretty elite defense, so I'm hoping that Jawan Taylor can come in and provide decent blocking in his rookie season for Nick Foles.
I like that pick a lot. I like that actually a lot, like a lot squared. Like they really need to work on the offensive line. I think Jawan Taylor is definitely the most talented offensive lineman in this draft, so I really like that pick. So moving on to number 8, the Detroit Lions. They kind of have a variation of needs here, but I am going to take the best player on the board, and I want to take Rashawn Gary. Even though they don't need him a ton because they have Snack Harrison, but I think he'd make a good fit. I'm not going to get into who I almost picked, but yeah, I'm going with Rashawn Gary.
All right, I like it. Kind of the same thing with Buffalo, your team, with the 9 pick. I know that they need to bolster the defense a little bit. That's already getting pretty elite, but they're going to take Ed Oliver, defensive tackle from Houston.
Love it. That's who I want in real life. That is who I've been targeting.
Me too at 16, but it's never going to happen. He's never going to drop that far. But
McDermott likes him too much. If he's there when we're picking, he's going to be a Bill.
Yeah.
But I like the pick a lot. So moving on to 10, we have the Denver Broncos, who are in need of offensive line, inside linebacker, defensive line, quarterback, and tight end. Honestly, right here, I would think about taking Dwayne Haskins, but I think I'm going to pass on him for now. So I'm going to take Andre Dillard, offensive lineman out of Washington State.
Okay. I like it. They need it. I'm glad you didn't take Haskins because with the 11th pick, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to draft their hopeful franchise quarterback in Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State. Andy Dalton, his future's kind of up in the air when it comes to the Bengals with the new head coach. I just think they're going to try and find somebody to be their franchise player, and Haskins is going to be it. So, yeah.
I like it. That would be a very interesting setup. I'd really be curious to see how that plays out, especially because that would be keeping Dwayne Haskins in Ohio as he played in Ohio State. I like that a lot. Moving on to 12, the Green Bay Packers benefit from their trade last year. When the Saints traded up to get Marcus Davenport, they also traded the Packers their 2019 first-round pick, so they have the 12th overall pick, and I think the 29th, I want to say?
Yes.
30th. But 30th, I know it's close. So the main point is Jimmy Graham has kind of been a disappointment in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers needs a big tight end, so I'm going for Iowa tight end T.J. Hockenson.
I like it. I think that's a really good target for Green Bay because he could be like a Jimmy Graham, Rob Gronkowski type. With the
a young Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, exactly. One that's not injured or, banged up. So, the 13th overall pick, the Miami Dolphins are going to go quarterback, and they're going to take Daniel Jones from Duke because currently I'm not sure that they even have one on the roster. I mean, they do, but not one that should be starting. So, hopefully Daniel Jones can come in and provide for the Miami Dolphins.
Hey man, Fitzpatrick is there. He's just a little heavier. He came to training camp looking like a tight end.
Yeah, but exactly, he would be a good mentor for Daniel Jones. I feel like they have pretty much the same body type. I feel. I mean, Daniel Jones is a little bit faster, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah,
I like that pick a lot. It's definitely not where I thought you were going to go with that. Excuse me. So, with the number 14 pick, your division rival, the Atlanta Falcons, they mainly need defensive line, offensive line, cornerback, and linebacker. So, I think, honestly, I am going to go for, I think I might make a jump. I think I'm going to take Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle out of Clemson.
Ooh, I like it.
Christian Wilkins has been said to be a really good teammate and can provide a fit in a lot of different roles and a lot of different schemes. So I think the Falcons find someone to put next to Grady Jarrett. So that's who I'm going with.
Yeah, I know our Vikings reporter for the Unfiltered Network loves Christian Wilkins. So I think that's a really good pick there. At 15, the Washington Redskins are actually going to go wide receiver, pretty much a reach, DK Metcalf, which I know a lot of scouts have come out and said he's more of a second, third round player, but I don't know. They just need outside help. He has potential to be a beast. I think they reach and take DK Metcalf.
Who was that pick for again? Sorry, I didn't hear.
The Redskins, 15.
Ooh, spicy. I like that. All right, moving on to the 16th pick. It's your team, the Carolina Panthers. Biggest needs are edge, offensive line, safety, wide receiver, and linebacker. If I'm the Panthers, I'm jumping for joy because there is a very great offensive tackle left on the board, and his name is Jonah Williams, and he is now a Panther. I'm taking Jonah Williams. Fill that role that Ryan Khalil left. No, Matt Khalil. He's the tackle, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, that's who I'm going with.
Okay. I mean, I like it. They're probably going to go offensive line. It's not flashy, but I like it. 17, the Giants are going to take outside edge rusher Brian Burns from Florida State. Just to try and solidify that defensive line a little bit. I know he's young and he needs to develop, but that team's not going to be very good anyway, so hopefully he can get a few sacks.
Interesting. All right, 18, going to the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings really need to work on their offensive line and defensive line. But honestly, with Williams, Andre Dillard, and Jawan Taylor off the board, I don't know if I'm ready to reach for Cody Ford, which would be the next best offensive lineman on the board out of Oklahoma. But you know what? I think I am. I think I'm going to jump for it. I think I'm going for Cody Ford.
Okay. With 19, the Tennessee Titans are going to take linebacker Devin Bush from Michigan. I debated on another wide receiver, but I thought that might be a little bit too high because I know it's a super deep wide receiver draft. So, yeah, they're going to take Devin Bush. He has incredible speed, and he'll just really help that linebacking core with depth and everything.
I like it. With the Pittsburgh Steelers 20th overall pick, I have a few areas I kind of want to work on, but I think there's been a big player left on the board who has definitely slid down in the draft. This would be, if this actually happened this way, this would definitely be this year's Derwin James, who slid to 17 at the Chargers last year. But the Steelers need a good edge rusher, and I'm taking Montez Sweat.
Ooh, I like it.
Out of Florida.
Like it a lot. At 21, the Seahawks are going to take cornerback Greedy Williams and try and rekindle that Legion of Boom and help their, not I guess, newly signed quarterback Russell Wilson.
More like Legion of New CB Room. That was a bad joke. That was a really bad joke. I'm sorry for that.
You're good.
So at 22, I have the pick for the Baltimore Ravens. I've been kind of bumping and going. I got to recalibrate for a little bit.
I know.
But I think, yeah, it's like so much has been happening. I got to catch up.
Right.
But I think I'm going with another Clemson man in defensive end, Clelin Ferrell. I think that'll be a really good fit for the Ravens. They've definitely had a lot of defensive players leave in free agency, and I think he would kind of be that new face that they need on their defensive line.
I like it. The Houston Texans are going to try and protect Deshaun Watson by selecting guard Cody Ford from Oklahoma with the 23rd overall pick.
I already took him, fam.
Oh, who took him? I thought you said you didn't take him.
No, I said I didn't know if I wanted to, but I was going to jump on him. I took him at 18 with the Vikings.
Oh, dang. All right, hang on.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I need to pay better attention, apparently. Oh, but I have another lineman. I just need to think of his first name. What is his first name? They are going to take center Garrett Bradbury from North Carolina State and probably play him at guard, not center.
I love it. Bradbury really impressed me at the Combine. I really want the Bills to pick him up if he falls in the second round. But that's who I would go to.
Yes. Sorry about
what are we at, 24?
Yes, the Raiders at 24.
At 24, this is really interesting. With the Raiders have already selected Quinnen Williams. So I think they would go with running back at this pick. I really like Josh Jacobs out of Alabama.
Ooh, I like it. Quick question. Has Dexter Lawrence been taken?
No, he is not.
Okay, thank you. That's for a future pick. But with the 25th overall pick, the Eagles are going to select wide receiver Is it Marquise Brown from Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay, Marquise Brown from Oklahoma. And he's probably going to end up playing a little bit of that Golden Tate role, probably a bigger role. I feel like the Eagles' wide receivers are constantly banged up, so hopefully he can come in, provide a little bit of speed, give Wentz somebody to throw to, and just hopefully open up that offense a little bit.
Nice. I think at 26 for the Colts, I am going to take Chris Lindstrom. Where did he go to school? Boston College. Chris Lindstrom out of Boston College.
Yeah,
he's an offensive lineman. They really need to bolster the offensive lineman after Matt Slauson retired, so that's who I'm going with.
I like it. That was the 26th, right?
26th.
So 27th? Okay.
Yeah.
With the 27th pick, the Oklahoma Raiders are going to try and add to their already bolstered offense this offseason by taking tight end Noah Fant from Iowa. Is it Font or Fant?
I say Font, but
right. Noah Fant from Iowa.
I don't know. I might be wrong as well. I don't know. But with 28 for the Los Angeles Chargers, I can go with in a lot of different directions with this pick. I really like the Noah Font pick, by the way, but I think I might be taking your boy. If they want to take Dexter Lawrence, they need to bolster their defensive tackle room, so I think they're going to take Dexter Lawrence on that one.
I like it. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to try and bolster their defense this offseason because they let a shit ton of people go. So I'm going to really hope this guy hasn't already been picked and I wasn't paying attention, but they're going to take corner Byron Murphy from Washington.
That's a really good pick. I liked it a lot, actually. He fell kind of. He was supposed to go up there.
I know. I thought one of us was going to take him a lot higher, like around 15, somewhere in there.
All right, I might need some time on this.
No, take your time, man.
30th overall pick. I think I am going with, for the Packers at 30, I think I'm taking offensive line. I think I'm going with Greg Little.
I like it.
Offensive lineman out of Ole Miss.
I like it. A lot of people think he might slide to day 2, but I could see him going day 1, especially if a lot of offensive linemen go high. I could see him going 30 to 32, somewhere in there. But
for sure.
With my last pick of the first round, the Los Angeles Rams are going to select defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State. He's had a couple off-the-field issues, but I think he could learn from a leader like Aaron Donald. And since they're probably looks like they're going to lose Ndamukong Suh, I think he could be a good counter piece to Donald.
I like it a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure where Suh's going to go, but I like that pick. With the final pick in this first round mock draft, the New England Patriots, I think, are going to go for a Rob Gronkowski replacement. And with Hockenson and Font already off the board, I think I'm going to go with Irv Smith, Alabama.
Dude, I honestly love Irv Smith. I think he's probably going to be one of the best tight ends in this draft or in recent drafts. He's so athletic. He reminds me of, like you said, of Rob Gronkowski or like an Antonio Gates if he can develop. I think that's a really good pick for them. I'm glad I didn't have that one because I probably would have reached and taken a quarterback. So, good job.
You can't reach, man. You can't reach.
But yeah, that wraps up our mock draft, round 1. Yeah. You got anything else for us, man?
I don't think so. I think that's it for this week. We just got to stay tuned as more draft information will come later this week.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to be back to our regular scheduled recording once a week. We really appreciate you guys understanding and hope you guys have a great rest of your week. All right, we're out.